I think what people do is they look at this kind of personalised yaboo playground, call in names kind of politics, and they are generally, I think, switched off by it because they think, look, this doesn't really resonate with me and my life and my stresses and strains and the issues that are vexing me at the moment. If you're in the middle of a cost of living crisis, if the economy's failing, if people can't get on the housing ladder, they can't get their operation on the NHS or get in to see their GP. Those are the sorts of things that people want their politicians to be discussing and arguing about and debating. When it comes to stuff like this, I think it's a big turn-off now. I mean, it may be what Alex says. It may be because the Labour Party is rattled. It may be just the particular advertising executive got a bit carried away. But it's wrong. I think it's a misstep by the Labour Party. Having said that, it will be lost in the winds of time in a few days.
It's interesting that they haven't bothered to take it down. They clearly think they're going to stick to this.
That is interesting.
Stick to this campaign tactic.
I have to say, by the way, I have some admiration.
You respect that?
Yeah.
Well, I have some.
I wouldn't take it down.
No,
you've got to keep it there. You've done it.
Once you take it down, you've admitted you've got it wrong.
It's the old thing, isn't it? Never apologise, never explain, and that kind of thing. And I think somebody has probably said, look, we're being hammered for it anyway. All we're going to do is have
you might as well leave it up.
If we take it down, we might as well ride it out. So on that part, I have some respect, especially in this day and age where people are so quick to apologise and withdraw.
I'm somewhere between the two views that you've set up because I think there is room in politics for criticising a government's record or what you perceive as being its record, even very aggressively. The mistake they made is the personalising part. And if the approach, and it may make a less catchy poster, but if the approach had been, Sunak's government has let X many sexual offenders out onto the streets, it would land the same message without saying, rhetorically, Rishi Sunak doesn't think paedophiles should go to prison. Now, as a matter of fact, I don't believe Rishi Sunak has sympathy to paedophiles. Moreover, none of us actually think the Labour Party believes Rishi Sunak's got any sympathy for paedophiles.
No one's pro-sexual assault of children.
And that's the absurdity, right? If they'd looked at it as a government record and said, this is what we claim to be the shortcoming of government, it would have been a powerful campaign, I think. The mistake, which they thought was clever, was personalising it and trying to ping it to the Prime Minister. That's why it's backfired.
It opens them up to scrutiny, and people have pointed out that Keir Starmer did sit on the Sentencing Council.
Well, he didn't prosecute Jimmy Savile and got very upset when that was pointed out.
And that was, of course, criticised at the time as a party attack line from the Conservatives. And he was sitting on the Sentencing Council 2 years before Rishi Sunak even became an MP. So a lot of this predates.
There's no more of a straight line between Rishi Sunak and the fact that some people who have sexually assaulted children don't go to prison than there was between Keir Starmer and the fact that Jimmy Savile wasn't prosecuted. So that's a danger for the Labour Party. You know, they reared up against any suggestion that Keir Starmer, as the head of the DPP, the Director of Public Prosecutions at the time, was somehow responsible for Jimmy Savile not being prosecuted. Well, if you're going to play that game, people are going to now point the finger at you for making essentially the same kind of accusation against Rishi Sunak.